What's going on, you guys? Everyone has been asking me to make a Stone Ocean tier list, so here we are. Now, this is in no particular order, so don't be shocked when I say the first person we're going to be rating is D and G. His stand was Yo-Yo Ma, and this was a remote-controlled stand that kind of seemed like it was on Jolene's side for a second there, but obviously it was on Pale Snake's side. The character itself wasn't really all that notable, but the stand I think was pretty dangerous. Therefore, I think he gets B tier. I'm thinking the stand, right? This guy himself, like, you know, not much on the screen, but I think his stand played a pretty big role. I'll put it in B. It's probably going to be bottom of B by the end. Now we have Weather. Weather ended up being like one of the most influential characters in the whole story, weirdly enough. I didn't really expect him to have such a massive role. When you saw that he had like a Joe star, that's how you knew something was probably up. I'm going to have to put Weather probably an S because he almost just saved the day on his own, and he was secretly like the main character in a way. I think. I mean, like, Jolene obviously is the main character, and then it's like, we're trying to save Jotaro. There was almost a whole nother story battle. Alone, Weather vs. Pale Snake. I think he goes in S. Okay, now we have Donatello versus. More notably, this dude, he had the Netherworld stand, so he could, like, recreate the past, essentially. And not only that, but he was trying to actually become stronger than Pale Snake. He's like, why don't I just become the strongest dude? I think out of all the villains, he's probably one of the most interesting, other than Pale Snake, of course. I think I put him in A tier. Okay, now we have Emporio. So Emporio saves the day at the very end of the story. He was kind of a mysterious character. Fighting-wise, I really don't know what Emporio even does to this day. He's got like some utility stance. He's not really a fighter. Throughout the whole show, he's kind of like on the sideline, and then at the very, very end, he's like, okay, we all rely on you, bro. Honestly, he's not one of my most favorite characters ever. At the start, he was pretty interesting, and I like didn't even know if he was a real character. Because I'm like, oh, she's probably just seeing things, or I don't know, something weird's going on. I don't think he's S tier, even though he saves the story. You know, isn't that weird? I think I put him... I don't even really like him that much, I'll be honest. I think he's going to be the top of B tier in my list. Okay, now we have Pale Snake. Pale Snake, father, was it Pucci? Pucci? I don't know how you're supposed to say it. But, obviously, the main villain, Dio's friend, basically. Bro met Dio. And weirdly enough, he wasn't even going to do anything evil, but some circumstances made him go down that path. It's kind of an interesting story. But, I think Pale Snake, father, Pucci... I mean, he's kind of an S-tier character. I mean, like, he was, like, scary the whole time. He was, like, you had to respect him. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like, oh my god, I don't want to fight him. It was like, oh my god, like, whoa, like, we better be careful. I think he goes in S, in my opinion. Okay, Emerus. Emerus, you know, really good character, actually. She was the homie. Super tough character. I think I gotta say I like her more than Donatello versus. She might go in S. Man, she goes in A tier. Okay, now we have FF, Foo Fighters. FF, another character that I really, really like, and really funny character. I think, for sure, right next to Emerus, no matter what. By the way, they have like, the same eyes in these pictures. Emerus and FF might go S tier, but we'll see at the very end. Okay, I don't know why we have this character, but I am going to rate it. Gloria, this is Emerus's mom. So, if you remember, this is why Emerus even went to prison, because of Sports Max. This character, I mean, it was a real one. Kind of a side character. Like, out of all the characters, you know, like, there might be some that go into the lower tiers. I put her in C. She wasn't all that bad. She wasn't like, oh my god, the story is finally good. I see this character. But it was definitely like, okay, this is, you know, significant. I think it's a good character. Now we have the guy, what the heck is his name? He has the survivor stand. His name is Gucci. Really weird character. We only see him for like a second. Very scared character. He's also bald on the top. He's got like this Bucciarati haircut, but he's bald. Really weird one. But his stand is pretty darn interesting. Weirdly enough, I think he's kind of I put him at maybe B. I think his stand is really interesting, so I'll put him at B. Probably the weirdest stand ever. And also, Dio talks about him, so I mean, that just tells you it's you know, not your average character. Okay, we got Gwess. Gwess is a really interesting one because she was like our enemy, ally, friend, someone we hate, all at the same time. I think Gwess probably goes above Gloria. Because, what the heck? Okay, we got Dio. So Dio never actually got, like, resurrected or anything. Like, when Dio was having his thoughts in his mind, or, like, laying out his plan, he's like, he needs a loyal friend, do all this, go to this location, do all these things. I thought he was gonna get, like, resurrected or something. Because they had, like, his bone and all that. I don't know. Maybe he got, like, infused with Pale Snake, and Pale Snake was Dio. I don't know. Maybe they were both together. I don't know what the theory or logic behind that is. I thought, like, Dio was just gonna take over him, basically. Obviously, Dio is one of the best characters ever possible. So, I think, because we didn't see him come back, I can't put him in S, but I will put him above Donatello Versus. I think he belongs in A tier. Okay, now we have Don Golly A. Now this dude is in the very beginning. He is actually pretty scary. Blind dude who's like a master sniper. Actually a pretty cool like villain. Pretty cool character. I put him above Emporio. Alright, now I have Jolene. Little to no explanation needed. I think I put Jolene in S. Pretty darn cool character. I think she's definitely above Weather and definitely above Father Pucci. Okay, now we've got the Corrupt Lawyer. Corrupt Lawyer was actually a good character. I think he probably needs to go at least top of C. Yes, we hate him. Character-wise, I thought he was good. Jotaro was like in and out. I thought it was gonna be like a golden win situation. We only see him for a second. He actually ends up coming back at the very end, which was really cool. Obviously, he is the dude. He's really the only reason they didn't die to Pale Snake like immediately. Put him probably in A tier below Dio. A very interesting character. Kenzo. Kenzo, this is the dude with the like feng shui stand. Really weird how it ends up working, but this dude was actually really dangerous, and until they figured it out, like pretty dangerous, and like I thought they were gonna lose. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen. They like barely won this. This dude is pretty darn dangerous. Character-wise, I didn't really care for him. He was a really kind of a scary character. I put him in C. I'm probably going to move some people down in a minute here, but for now, he's going to stay in C. Lang Wrangler. He was one of the earlier Pale Snake henchmen, I guess you could say, right? And he was manipulating gravity and all that. I thought he was a pretty decent character. I'm going to be honest, this might be the first D tier. You know, he wasn't very memorable in my opinion. I'm gonna put him in D. Obviously, people are gonna get moved in a minute here, so, you know, don't jump to any conclusions just yet. Loco Barocco. Loco Barocco. This dude works at the jail. He's got like the little puppet. I thought he was kind of interesting, kind of funny, kind of weird. I don't dislike him. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't dislike this dude. I think I put him in D for now. Probably things are gonna get moved. Mira Sean. This one was like the one who's betting, and if you lose the bet, she will collect if you lose. Pretty scary stand and all that. It's like one of those like invincible-ish stands, sort of. Like you gotta play by the rules. So I like this character. This was a pretty good one. I'm putting her in B for sure. Jailhouse Lock Mumu. This one, I think, character-wise, kind of like malicious. She's always playing around with like, oh, let me help you and all these things, and like Jolene can't remember anything. Like that character was nasty. And like in terms of character, I mean, how can she be above Emerus? It's so hard. Like I wish I had like tier list for allies and enemies, because I think she would be a S tier enemy. I don't think she can be above Emerus. But it's like, how can I put them above FF and Emerus? Because these people have been there the whole time. Emerus, I mean, is less like character-wise I'm invested. FF was more character-wise and fighter. I don't know. But I think out of all the stands that we've seen throughout JoJo, Jailhouse Lock is one of those that stand out big time. Weirdly enough, I think I might keep her in S. She might move down to A by the end of it. Anastasia, Anasui, however you want to say his name. I never liked this dude. I don't think he's all that strong. I don't think he did anything all that I mean, like, he was just really cringe. I put him in B. I barely like Emporio more than him. Now we have an interesting character, Perla. This is kind of the character that basically started Pale Snake, right? He wouldn't have done any of all this. He wouldn't have done anything if it wasn't for the tragedy of Perla. Probably, most likely. Character-wise, she was really good. I think she goes in A tier. Probably bottom of A. Probably bottom of A, because this is a major character. Rikiel. This dude, he had like, I don't know, like no confidence or something like that. And then basically he's got like the rods. And somehow it was like a really close fight between him and Jolene. I don't really understand how it was close. Do I care about this dude? Not really at all. I put him probably in D tier. Romeo. We don't like this dude. He's the reason Jolene got locked up. He's basically the reason everything happened. Everything was set up. He set it up. He helped us out at the very, very end, but obviously could have helped us out a long time ago. I feel like it's okay to hate some characters. I'll put him in E tier. Sports Max. Okay, I really like this character. I thought this was a really scary character. especially he's like a gang leader. He's doing all these crazy stuff. I think for sure he's going in A tier. And weirdly enough, I think he's gonna go above Jotaro and Dio. Like, Jotaro and Dio are very high up in the list, don't get me wrong. I might actually rename these in a second here to S- or something. Sports Max, I think, was one of the most notable enemies besides Pale Snake. Super cool backstory. You know, he was lingering around for a while. I mean, this dude was no joke. Green Baby didn't really do anything. It was like a mysterious character when it came out. We didn't know what it was. The Dio baby. I think it's an E tier. I'm about to move these in a second, so don't freak out. Thunder McQueen. Now, this dude is so weird. If he hurts himself or whatever he does himself, it happens to you. Looking at these enemies, I like him better than that. These ones. Because this was actually like... It was really brief, but it was at least interesting. The Bohemian Rhapsody dude. Basically, he was removing comic book characters, and then they would fight for him. And they were fighting Jolene. It was kind of a weird one. And he got defeated without actually showing up. Just a really weird character. The stand was really weird. I'll put him at the bottom of D. The last character we're going to review, one of the guards. The guards that got taken over by the Survivor. I think the only reason it's on this list is because I thought, you know, the fight is pretty decent. I was like, it's pretty interesting. So I think it's really like weird. It was like they got excited and they were like hitting each other's in the eye and they're like, you know, all that weird stuff because of the Survivor stand. I put it in like C. Okay, with that in mind, let's go ahead and change some stuff real quick. It's a lot more applicable because you can't have like S and A. That there's gotta be something in between. So we got S- now. All right, so let's go through it. Actually, I'll put Romeo in E. Green Baby. I don't care for the Green Baby. Okay, this is a lot better. Green Baby, Romeo, E. Guy Who Works at the Jail, D. Actually, I'll switch this. Rekiel will be D tier. Guy Who Works at the Jail. The Guy Who Manipulates Gravity, C. Because that was like kind of interesting. It's like, oh my god, what's happening? Bohemian Rhapsody, bottom of C. Okay, the guard fight. That was interesting. Thunder McQueen, interesting. Gloria, I think I moved her down to C. We got Wes in B, that's fine. Lawyer in B, that's fine. Kenzo top of B, that's fine. Anastasia, Anasui, whatever. A is fine. Survivor stand, just because it's interesting. I don't really care for the character, but the Survivor stand is really cool. And mentioned by Dio, put him in A. Mirashon, I thought it was a really cool character. The Yo-Yo Ma guy, I'll put him below Mirashon. I'll put Emporio below Mirashon because her stand is so scary. John Gully, I think I put him below Mirashon. Mirashon is the leader of A tier. Okay, we got Perla in S- because she's a major character. Donatello Versus stood out to me big time. You know, he wanted to be stronger than Pale Snake. We got Dio and Jotaro basically tied. This is, you know, either position. Just above them, we got Sports Max. Then we've got FF, Emerus. These are basically tied. Emerus and FF are tied. Okay, then we got Jailhouse Lock Mumu. I thought she was a very vicious, nasty villain. Pale Snake, of course. Weather and Pale Snake have to be tied. I mean, they're tied. Okay, they're tied. Even though Pale Snake... I mean, actually, I put Pale Snake slightly above just because we've seen him throughout the story for so long, so he's like 1% better. Then, of course, at the very, very top, we got Jolene. Alright guys, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know if you agree in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one.